This is the opening paragraph of an email we received recently from a course student named Kevin. Today, on my 47th birthday, I reread the suicide note I wrote on my 27th birthday, about 2 minutes before my girlfriend, Carol, showed up at my apartment and told me she was pregnant. Her words were honestly the only reason I didn't follow through with it. Suddenly, I felt I had something to live for, and I started making small, positive changes one day at a time. It's been a journey, but Carol is now my wife, and we've been happily married for 19 years. And my daughter, who is now a 21-year-old university student pursuing a degree in medicine, has 2 younger brothers. I read my suicide note every year on the morning of my birthday as a reminder to be grateful. I am grateful I stopped waiting and started doing things daily that ultimately gave me a second chance at life. Kevin's words remind us that sometimes we have to endure our very darkest moments in order to be reborn and rise again as a stronger, happier version of ourselves. Although circumstances and people will occasionally break you down to the lowest of lows, when you keep your mind focused on the positive, your heart open to love, and continue to put one foot in front of the other, you can recover the pieces, rebuild, and come back much stronger and happier than you ever would have been otherwise. Life is painful. Change is painful. Growth is painful. But in the end, nothing is as painful as staying stuck where you do not belong. It's always better to be exhausted from meaningful effort on a daily basis than to be tired of doing nothing. Too often, we spend our days and our lives thinking about taking the important steps we never take. We suffer far longer than we have to simply because we don't step through the tragedies and challenges we face on a daily basis. And that's precisely why we're starting here, with a deep dive into the power of daily rituals. Let's press forward with another pertinent story. In 1911, 2 explorers, Roald Amundsen and Robert Falcon Scott, embarked on a race against each other to become the first known human being to set foot upon the southernmost point of Earth. It was the age of Antarctic exploration, as the South Pole represented one of the last uncharted areas in the world. Amundsen wished to plant the Norwegian flag there on behalf of his country, while Scott hoped to stake his claim for England. The journey there and back from their base camps was about 1,400 miles, which is roughly equivalent to a round-trip hike from New York City to Chicago. Both men would be traveling the same distance on foot through extremely cold and harsh weather conditions. And both men were equally equipped with experience, supplies, and a supporting team of fellow explorers. As it turns out, Amundsen and Scott took entirely different approaches to the very same challenges. Scott directed his team to hike as far as possible on the good weather days and then rest on the bad weather days to conserve energy. Conversely, Amundsen directed his team to follow a strict regimen of consistent daily progress by hiking exactly 20 miles every day, regardless of weather conditions. Even on the warmest, clear sky days, when Amundsen's team was capable of hiking much further, he was absolutely adamant that they travel no more than 20 miles to conserve their energy for the following day's hike. Which team succeeded in the end? Amundsen's team, the one that took consistent daily action. Why? Because what we do every day defines us. Today's progress is always compounded by yesterday's effort, no matter how small. And it all comes down to the power of self-discipline, which we discuss in detail soon. But for now, think about the most common problems we deal with in our modern lives, from lack of presence, to lack of exercise, to unhealthy diets, to procrastination, and so forth. In most cases, problems like these are caused not by a physically present limitation, but by a limitation of the mind, specifically a lack of self-discipline. We put the hard things off until tomorrow for a variety of reasons, until we've lost our momentum. We grow accustomed to the belief that things should be easier than they are, and that waiting another day or two makes the most sense. Then one day we wake up and we're emotionally incapable of doing the hard things that need to be done. Let this be your wake-up call.